Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be. This is Wooton, and that's spelled Woeton, Interesting Stories. And I appreciate some people joining me, making comments. Now, this story is about the history of this hat. It's quite seen often. You see that it has, the white and red, and then you see this tall tassel, I guess you'd call it. And a lot of people don't know the history of that tassel. It was used sometimes to put candy inside there, but it really has a more sinister meaning. Christmas time is a time to celebrate. And so men and women would get together and drink and party and dance. And somebody came up with the idea. It would be interesting to help me, the men were thinking, to be able to make advances to the female. And maybe they would find me more interesting and we could end up making love. So what they did, initially, these tassels were the length of the man's penis. And initially, instead of just having one ball up here, they had two, representing the cock and the balls. But the church objected to that, so the manufacturers agreed they'll just put one ball. But everybody knew the significance of this. In fact, doing my research, I found there was a case. This woman picked up a man, or ended up with a man, and they went to bed to make love, and she saw that his tassel here was quite, big, tall, long. And so she said, "Wow, I really want this man in bed." Well, it turned out the man was lying to her, and really, his tassel was only half the length it should have been, or was twice the length it should have been. And she got mad, and she sued him, saying that he committed fraud against her. Well, I couldn't find the results from the court standpoint, but I later read another article about the same case, and they said that the case was settled out of court. And the way it was settled, this man had several friends, and he went around and he looked at their tassels, and he found a guy that had a nice long tassel. He didn't confirm it, but he hoped the guy was telling the truth. And so he brought this guy to her, and it turned out he wasn't lying, and she was very satisfied, and that was the end of the case. So this is a very interesting point, that the history of this part of the Christmas hat. Now, please note that this is all baloney. I made it up completely, and it is not true. Thank you very much.